Hey, Walt here from WaltonPA.com as well as StowGearView.com, back with another Shooting the Breeze video on shooting. And I just walked through the door maybe 15 minutes ago from my second time shooting sporting clays. And just like last week, I had a great time. Last week it was kind of funny. After shooting, my shoulder was kind of sore. I just figured it was a little stiff, no big deal. But as I was getting ready for bed, my wife looks at me and goes, what's all over your shoulder? I don't know. I went and looked at it in the mirror, and I had this huge welt. It was all red. It was kind of cool having that battle wound from the shotgun. And as the week progressed, it turned like yellow and purple, and I had a cool bruise. And finally was just about gone, and here I am today, ready to shoot again. So I was a little concerned that it was going to be a little more painful, but it really wasn't a problem at all. And in fact, it actually hurts less this week than it did last week. So I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to go this week or next week, because I kind of want to do sporting clays on an every other week basis, if not spread it out a little bit more than that, because I do want to get into IDPA or USPSA shooting. So I really can't afford to do all kinds of stuff and use up all kinds of ammunition. So I'm kind of spreading out the sporting clays. But I decided to go this week. The weather was beautiful. It was a bit humid. That's why I'm kind of all sweaty. And the bugs were out in full force. But I had a good time. For whatever reason, when I got there, I was expecting more or less the same course. I mean, it's in the same place. The trap stands are set up more or less in the same places, but they're throwing different series of clays in different manners, and it was a totally different feel this time around. Right out of the gate, they started me with 3 pairs of rabbits, and I think I broke one of them. And then once the clays were in the air, once I got past the rabbits and the clays were in the air, I was doing much better. This time around, I swapped the barrel on the Remington 870 Wingmaster. When my father lent it to me, there was a 28-inch modified choke tip, fixed barrel. Doesn't take choke tubes or interchangeable chokes. So last week I was shooting with the 28-inch modified, and I didn't realize it at the time, but another barrel that my father gave me was a 30-inch modified trap. The choke is the same, only the barrel's 2 inches longer, and it's got a white post and a bead instead of just a single bead in the other barrel. So that made the shooting a little bit easier, and I was watching a lot of YouTube videos on what to do when you call the shot, because just like last week, I was the first person there, and I got up and started shooting. And the first pair, they let you see, so they let it fly after you call pull, and you mount the gun and get a feel for where your break zone is. And so I went into it with that tidbit of information after watching all these YouTube videos, and I was successfully breaking the first clay fairly regularly. There were probably maybe 8 or 10 instances where I didn't break the first clay, but I was doing pretty well. My major problem was the follow-up shot. So I tracked the clay, I break the first shot, then I pump the shotgun to cycle the next round, and then that's where my trouble is. The targets are getting a bit further out there, and now I'm struggling with lead, because I'm finding when the first clay comes out, if I get on it right away, I can more or less put the front post on the clay and break it without issue. But once it starts getting out there a little ways, I'm really struggling with how much to lead, and my second shots were really poor. There weren't very many that I broke. And so breaking the first one was a confidence booster. I definitely feel like I've made a little bit of progression. I still probably only broke the same amount of clays, between 15 and 18 out of 50. So it's, I didn't do great by any standards, but I feel, even though the number of clays that I broke is kind of abysmal, I feel like I progressed and I'm doing a little better. So I need to work on that first shot some more, and and put a lot more effort into getting on that second clay faster and learning how much to lead depending on how far out it is. The closer targets I had no problem with it. Again, just put the post on the clay and more or less broke. But once I started getting out there, it was a little more difficult for me. That was about it. I told you about the new barrel and shooting better with the first clay, doing pretty bad with the second clay. So that's pretty much my my sporting clays experience this week. So I don't know whether I'll probably go again in 2 weeks, and I'd like to do one of these videos each time I go. And I actually saw this cool little gadget on the internet today, or last night. Someone posted on one of the gun forums that they had gone to an IDPA match, which was actually the IDPA match that I was considering going to, or was planning on going to up until the last minute. But he got these Hunter specialty glasses with a video camera built into them. The video quality wasn't superb, but for what he paid for the glasses, I think they were about $90. It did pretty good. I don't like it appears as though there's a timestamp on the lower right hand corner of the video that you can't remove, that I'm not crazy about. I hate when there's a timestamp on video and you can't get rid of it. And I even saw another camera where, in addition to the timestamp, there was actually branding for the brand of camera on the video, and you couldn't remove that either. So I completely disregarded that camera option. I think that was like a side mount or something, but these glasses look really cool. It doesn't get a really wide picture, but if I have them, maybe I can actually show you what I'm seeing, and you can give me a better idea of what I'm doing wrong. So I'm kind of looking into maybe getting a pair of those. I'm not quite sure where I can get them, but I'm going to look around some more, see what the pricing is, and if it works out, maybe I'll get a pair, unless I find something else that's better. The GoPro HD cameras look fantastic. They do really amazing video, but they're up in the $300 range, and these Hunter specialty glasses are much less than that. So that's where I'm at. Probably go shooting again in 2 weeks and be back and do another one of these videos. So until next time, happy smoking, happy shooting, and I will catch you later.